Hey, what's up? This is Joe. I'm back home in the state of Virginia making preparations for my next exotic winter trip. I'll talk more about that later, but in the meantime, I wanted to make this next video to share with you the journey that I took through the far western corner of Texas. Although a lot of people don't typically think of Texas as having mountains, out there they certainly do, as well as a lot of flat desert where there's just ain't nothing out there. So I'm camped out there way up in the mountains, got down to like 30 degrees, and this old boy comes up with a big cowboy hat, carrying a .22 air rifle, and big smile on his face, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to shoot this thing?" And I said, "Yeah." So we're sitting out there doing target practice, and I start to learn more about this guy. And as it turns out, he had traveled the world, been to lots of exotic places, and was an avid hunter from Montana. Had unfortunately been diagnosed with inoperable throat cancer and was in the final stages. This part of Texas was one of his favorite places on earth. He had decided to come out there to sort of spend the last of his days with his cats. So the more I got to know this guy, he was just a really interesting character. When you talk to somebody who's on the way out like that, it makes you sort of reflect on your own life and have I really done everything I wanted to do? So if there's anything I hope you take out of this video, it's maybe a sense of the mortality of this existence. And if there's anything you want to do, you best do it. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box if you'd like to contribute to this project. Also check me out on Instagram, 100 Reels in 100 Days. Today's right around day 68. You're more than welcome to check that out at dirtymotorcyclevagabond. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road. From Carlsbad, New Mexico, I headed across the Texas border into its far west mountainous side. It was there, just north of Marfa, that I encountered the loneliest cowboy in the whole damn state. Texas isn't typically a place most people would equate with scenic mountain vistas, but this ride was full of interesting stuff to see. Around about the time I got to Van Horn, the landscape started to flatten out and there wasn't much of anything going on anywhere. Dry, hot desert accounts for much of West Texas, and if you get out far enough, there ain't nothing going on to speak of. Except this is kind of an interesting little place. I've been wanting to come for a long time, just simply because it's so unusual. And there goes my helmet. So the deal is, this is the world's smallest Prada store. It's not actually a store, it's more of an art installation. Nobody's working it, but it's just out here in the middle of nowhere by itself, miles from anywhere really. I think there's a very small town called Valentine that's up that way, and then the actual town of Marfa is a little further that way. I've seen so many people take pictures of this place. Just really wanted to come just to say I've been here. There's some interesting inventory and stuff in there, shoes and pocketbooks and stuff like that. But yeah, just what an oddball thing to be in the middle of nowhere. So now I can say I've been here. From Valentine, I took a left turn and headed back into the mountains. Scattered around West Texas are improvised free campsites just like this, with trees and picnic tables. Way out in these parts, there ain't a lick of cell service. She looks like she's having a good meal. It's mating season for grasshoppers. That's obviously the larger female. After mating, she'll bite the male's head off and begin to eat him, which she's doing right now. Look at this. Kind of flies in the face of anybody who thinks Texas is not wild. There's the road. This road actually has some twisties on it. Kind of unique for Texas. This is a little bit freaky to hike through. For one, because of the tall grass. Two, because apparently all these locusts are going on a mating frenzy. And they don't sound all too dissimilar to the sound of a rattlesnake. And then of course with the heavy grass, you can't exactly see where you're stepping. It's a little freaky. This apprehension of rattlesnakes is further compounded by the sound that I'm making as I walk through this tall grass. It's got kind of a, well, rattle-like sound as you step through it. All right, so just getting back from hiking. This looks like as good a spot as any. Finally, the shade has started to make its presence known. So I'm gonna get something to eat. I usually carry about a couple of days rations on me, and it's a damn good thing too. Wasn't nothing out here. So I always keep a certain amount of emergency rations on me. Enough for about a day and a half, 2 days. There ain't nothing out here. I'm so far out there in West Texas, I can't even buy a rotisserie chicken. I got these. These are the lightest weight rations I've found to carry around. There's nothing extra. It's not like an MRE where there's a bunch of napkins and things like that. It's just bare bones, just the food. This looks pretty good. Fusilli with Italian sausage. And it looks like I got the quantity of water right. I sort of guesstimated using that cup, but looks like a good consistency. These are pretty good, but you wouldn't want to live on them. I'm breaking into it as my emergency food because I had really nowhere else to go to get something to eat, so this is it. Just about the time I'd made camp, the old boy came over with a .22 caliber air rifle and said, "Hey man, you want to shoot this thing?"
These used to be $600 when I was a kid. I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
But I obviously didn't ever have the safety's already off.
Yeah, so they're starting to get a little more...
And it's got a silencer. They put a silencer on it. This thing actually sounds like, without a silencer, it sounds like a real .22. Noisy.
Wow.
Noisy son of a bitch
Man,
without
you can
it.
feel the power of that.
It kicks.
Like,
it's really interesting. What it does is it captures the nitrogen out of the air.
Really?
So it's pushing the pellet on nitrogen.
No kidding. So,
You know, basically, it's the nitrogen in the air that it packs in. It's got a nitrogen cylinder, so. You know, you can shoot boars out here.
open season, right?
Any time of year, you just got to be careful not to shoot a peccary.
Okay.
Boars are the ones that have the teeth, big old teeth, and they have
yeah.
a tail. Peccaries are like a cute version of them.
So what'd you say, 160 bucks?
Well, it was $190 at the grocery store then, right?
At the grocery store?
Porter's. Yeah. You want to put like a thing up there?
Yeah, sure.
Record yourself. A little backstop on it.
Oh man, that's hard to see.
Oh, and you load it right there too. You got to break it down.
Okay.
And then you just push the pellet right into the...
Well, I loaded it.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh. Nice.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, if it was a squirrel, that was a heart shot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dead on. I have 6 cats, so by the way, if any kitties come visit you tonight...
I saw a cat hopped into your trunk. I was like, what in the world?
That's right.
I didn't know if it was a bobcat or
No,
what.
they're hybrids. They're not well, I mean, they're part bobcat, but not high percent. They're actually caracal hybrids. They have 2 grandpas that are wild, like full wild. One is a caracal that's like a little mountain lion, and then the other one's a fishing cat, which is kind of a small leopard, basically.
This is like low-cost shooting right here, man.
No, it's best, and you know, it's like
you don't feel guilty
it
for...
makes you feel great. You take a few shots, just so satisfying. Dude, you're nailing it.
Oh
though.
Wow, man, this thing's sighted in pretty
right?
good.
The sights are on.
Wow.
Dude, all your shots are right here within a ½ inch of each other.
Wow.
Perfect.
Man.
That was it right there.
So where are you from?
I'm originally from Western Montana.
Right then he came out with it. He'd been suffering from inoperable throat cancer and was in the final stages. He loved the state of Texas and had come to these woods to live out the last of his days with his cats.
Oh golly, I won't even be able to talk much longer. And so,
Fuck, man.
as the days go by real quick, this is where I want to be. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it for me. I want it. I'm so happy to be here because, you know, you should find the place you love or find the thing you love and
Absolutely.
let that kill you.
Absolutely.
That's dying on your own terms. That's living on your own terms. There's nothing better than that. That's why I came out here. There's a big old mountain lion that has his den just right across from where I'm.
Wow.
Yeah, no, my kitties come up here with me, and they're wild cats. So ultimately, this will be their home. They will make their way into the gene pool. But if you hear some loud coughing tonight, it's me down there.
Hey, no problem, man. Do what you got to do, brother.
So I love being up here because when I'm having the worst of times, I'm in the best of places, and I can actually I don't know, it don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah.
It's way different. There's something way different about, you know, being in a city, barfing into a toilet.
Yeah.
If I do, by some weird miracle, bounce back, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You ready?
I really am. Do you want a steak, by the way?
Every day?
I just cooked some steak. I got one extra.
Yeah, I just ate a Mountain House meal, but I mean, if you got an extra one, I'll take it. Holy shit. What's up, kitty?
Come on, man. That's Joe.
Hey, what's up?
Say hi to Joe. His name's Cash.
Hey, Cash. After Johnny Cash?
Yes, sir. He's probably about 3% serval and 3% leopard cat. Yeah. He has a name for me. You heard all that howling he was doing?
Yeah.
That's how he calls my name.
Really?
Yeah. He'll make that particular sound
Just for you.
just for me. And when I come running, he's like, yay!
It's been my experience from being on the road that when a stranger offers you a steak, you should always take it.
Check this out.
Oh man, that looks awesome.
I would, that's what I do, just share.
Yeah, that looks good, man.
I just made them right before I went out to sight the gun in. Do you want a Dr. Pepper, by the way?
Sure, I'd love one. Thank you.
Hey, dude, by the way, that's from Porter's down the road at the.
Really?
It's not. It's a gas station grocery store where you can also buy a gun.
Okay.
I love Texas.
I love Texas
so much.
I know.
And that's the thing too. Like at the bank says, yes, you may carry your legally concealed firearm in here. We're proud of your right to have one and keep it.
But I'll tell you, man, in Red Lodge and in Montana in general, they took me in like I've been living there all my life.
Yeah.
Like I was a native fucking Montanan.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, that's so cool.
That's Montana. Here you go. Get you some. Get you some.
What cut was that?
You're not gonna believe it. That's a chuck roast.
Really?
It's only a roast if
No
you
shit.
roast it, though. There's all kinds of nature singing out here. It's just amazing. And then
Cool.
there are shooting stars, one after another, headed down that, like, they go down
No
that
kidding.
way. We hear the bobcats. Bobcats make this really cool sound. It's kind of like a warbling. I don't even really know how to explain it. You just can't. All my heroes have always been cowboys, and especially Davy Crockett.
Yep. The mysterious stranger had an affinity for cats and said on multiple occasions throughout his youth in the woods of Montana, they'd saved his life in one way or another. It was for this reason he was keenly aware of the presence of a mountain lion nearby.
See that little black hole right there in the rocks? Just right there at the top, like almost at the top of that little rocky crop right there?
Yeah, I see it.
That's his back door.
Okay.
Now the front door,
Right there is where he's talking about.
his front door is right over here. See that little cut in the rocks right there? Spot where him or a different type of cat is going to sit to ambush whatever comes down to drink here. So hogs or sheep are coming down right there. You see there's tracks?
Yeah, definitely.
They'll come to drink right
Absolutely. Coming right down there to drink. And
there. They
then
would be thinking it's
the
safe.
lion will come out.
This is the front door. And I know he was here because I could feel his eyes on me. Like right now he's somewhere else. But this right here is where it gets real. Right when you get up here to the mouth. He got to run up and skirt this rocky outcrop.
Oh, damn.
Probably peeks over here.
Wow.
Spots whatever he spots. He probably goes in here, comes out his back door over there. But here's how I know that it's him and it's a male. He's been here as recently as probably yesterday.
Very recently. That's the mountain lion poop.
See what I was saying? See how hard it is?
Wow. Damn.
What they eat is so pure, it's seems like a charcoal brick. But yeah, it's like a tight space back there.
Damn.
And there's definitely a lot more to it than that. He must drag whatever he gets in there though, because that hole.
Yeah,
like
that's big enough for a hog.
But it gets real skinny in there, and wildcats like that, like my wildcats even. The mountain lion will have like a ton more superpowers than them, but my kitty cats can dislocate every bone in their body. They can get through a hole like this.
No shit.
Not joking.
Damn.
If they can squeeze their head through it, the rest of their body goes through just like that. Because they'll dislocate their shoulders,
Yeah.
their rear legs, they'll just dislocate their bones at will.
Wow.
You see that?
Oh, yeah.
That might be a wolf spider. He didn't want to have his picture taken, did he? You saw that? The turkey came down here this morning too. I just missed him. I'm not out to shoot turkeys. Something about my instinct says don't shoot turkeys. I don't know why. I've always felt that way about it.
Yeah.
His tracks are right over here. There's turkey tracks right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They were fresh this morning. Coon. I will shoot a coon.
Yeah.
I will eat a coon too.
Are they any good?
Yeah.
Really?
It tastes just like that steak. Well, I mean, the coons out here, they don't eat garbage, so they get the baby frogs, and then obviously they'll eat grasshoppers and stuff like that too. They come down here at night and they snap up the little frogs because frogs can't really see them at night. And coons have amazing eyesight.
Huh.
But that has to be a massive cavern because
Yeah.
the amount of holes that I can see totally lead back into it.
Yeah.
These little cuts right here, those are pretty well used trails. They're probably for the mountain sheep.
Yep.
You see how there's like that little it's a blind. It's a rock blind right there.
Yeah.
So if I was him, I'd spend a little time sitting here waiting for him to come down.
Yeah.
And if nothing happens, I would probably come on over here and chill out, wait for the pigs to come down. And that's another thing. The wild boar have red meat.
Yeah, it's not like in the grocery store.
Yeah, a wild boar is now like clean meat.
Oh, that's a beautiful spot. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a trail in here too.
So if I were a mountain lion, I'd probably just chill right up here on the top.
Yeah. Is that a little nook in there? Could be part of the cave?
That's it right there, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah, that's
Right there.
I think that's the hole. I think that is the hole that goes back there.
Day gecko, right?
Yeah. I call him Prince. So he's gotten out a couple times.
Really?
Tangled with the cats.
Lost
his tail twice. He came this way from the pet store because some idiot grabbed him hard.
Wow.
Right? And he started to slough off his chest right there, his chest hair. And then the chameleon babies, Ollie, there's one. You see one right there? That little tiny one just down below the gecko.
Oh yeah.
That's
Veiled.
Yeah, it's a little boy.
Okay.
And the girl's a little bigger than him. I sleep there.
Oh, okay. Right under there?
That's my headboard.
Okay. Gotcha.
Having that little thing above me is nice because it blacks out all the noise and any light and all.
That night I heard the sound of coughing in the distance and knew he was on his way out. When I rode past his camp the next morning, the mysterious cowboy was nowhere to be seen. I thought about what a character I'd met, living in the woods with cats and lizards in an electric car, looking for signs of a mountain lion nearby. His heroes had always been cowboys, he said. Some people might have hoped for a happier ending to the man's story, miraculous recovery, sudden change of perspective, maybe even a love interest. I like to think he died out there among the cats that meant so much to him, and that his own cats are there, working their way into the gene pool just as he'd hoped. That would be a good enough ending for someone who had already done a lot of living.